If there was any lingering doubt about whether summer's actually arrived yet, then surely it's been banished by these little red gems. In search of the ultimate strawberry taste experience, I'm throwing the rulebook out of the window. Mushroom and strawberry? Surprisingly good. Hunting in the hedgerows and flower beds for a magic ingredient to put a zing into strawberry jam. If you could just change my life with strawberries today, Pam, that would be great. And raising a glass or three to the joy of the strawberry. Drink them quickly. Here at River Cottage, we're getting so excited that we've decided to make merry with the berry at our very own strawberry fair. Welcome to Strawberry Day! And we're all looking forward to a long and glorious summer of fun and frolics and fine food. I honestly think it's how a shrimp would want to go. It might just be my veg of the summer. Fish, 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 fish. Get on. Here at River Cottage, the strawberry hunting season is open, and I'm on the search for my first taste of the quintessential fruit of summer. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I mean, if that's not one of the joys of summer, I don't know what is. And I imagine that if I'd never seen a strawberry before, I'd be transfixed by that, but I'd know it really wanted to be eaten. That's delicious. Now, you might think a strawberry is just a strawberry, but there are dozens of different varieties, and like apples, they all have their different qualities. Strawberry picking is one of those childlike pleasures you never grow out of. And this year, we've planted loads of different types to enjoy at the upcoming strawberry fair, if I don't eat them all first. Here's one I'm growing for the first time this year, an Italian variety called Florence. Really full-flavoured, slightly aromatic. And this is an old-fashioned variety called Cambridge Favourite. But it's definitely one of the tastiest. If you haven't grown any strawberries this year, promise yourself you will next. The brilliant thing is you don't even need a garden to grow them in. Just a knack for left-field containers. Back in April, we were planting them here and there and pretty much everywhere. Hi there.
Hiya.
Look at you in your matching shirts. This is my contribution to the Strawberry Vessel Collective. One ancient bucket and one chamber pot. Used only occasionally. I think I can live without it, you know. We've got some modern facilities put in recently. To welcome a strawberry plant into its new home, give the roots a good soak before planting. How about that?
Perfect.
In the unlikely event that you don't have a spare chamber pot lying around, there are other more workaday options.
Isn't that perfect?
That's strawberries for everyone, isn't it?
It is.
Or at least strawberries for everyone who drinks fizzy drinks out of a 2-litre bottle. And let's face it, who doesn't?
Exactly.
You'll need to punch holes in your planters to provide some drainage to stop the roots rotting. But you can plant strawberries in practically anything. It kind of goes to show that there's no excuse for not growing strawberries.
Absolutely. What do you think?
It's a hanger, although the nice thing about it is it could stand on its own 2 feet.
Oh.
Put the planters somewhere where they get plenty of sunshine and remember to water regularly. One little problem with strawberries is that although ripe equals delicious, it also equals fragile. And really ripe strawberries aren't going to last more than about 24 hours, unless you do something rather cunning with them. Macerate them. For half a kilo of thickly sliced strawberries, add 2 or 3 tablespoons of caster sugar. I want to get some sharpness into that as well. I could use lemon juice, but vinegar is also good. And this is a very special vinegar, an aged cider vinegar. I'm just stirring very gently, just turning the strawberries over really. I don't want them to break up, but I do want them to get well coated. And there's something else I like, which gives them an extra dimension. Black pepper. Another 3 or 4 little stirs every 5 minutes or so until a nice light syrup has emerged from the strawberries, dissolve the sugar, and you're done. And laced in this syrup, they'll keep in the fridge for a good few days. Oh, wow. They haven't been macerating for 5 minutes, and they're already delicious. There are all sorts of ways you can enjoy them. I love them straight up like this, or with a dollop of yogurt, or on buttered bread. But one of my favourites as the centrepiece of a little strawberry brunch on top of some eggy bread. If you don't already know and love eggy bread, it's a great breakfast treat, somewhere in the comforting corner where pancake meets toast, and a perfect vehicle for summer berries and fruit compotes. And while the bread is getting eggy, I'm just going to whip up a quick strawberry smoothie to wash it all down with. Take a few handfuls of hulled strawberries, half a dozen ice cubes, a dash of sugar, and a few tablespoons of yogurt. If I whizzed it right now, it would be a smoothie. But if I put in a little shake of oats, it's going to be a thickie. Just a sprinkling, mind. It doesn't want to be too thicky. And there you have it. A very berry brunch. And not a bad way to start a summer's day. I'm in the pink. What could be finer than a summer's evening by the river with the prospect of a fish supper at the end of it? Tim's brought me to his favourite stretch of the River Otter. Are there a lot of fish in here?
Absolutely. There's a surprisingly big head of wild trout in the Otter.
Tim and I believe in catch and release. To kill and eat a wild fish is a once-a-year treat. Do you think they're the tastiest of the lot?
I would say I prefer the taste of wild trout to farm trout.
I think what you're saying here, in so many words, that you can pick, in a blind tasting, a wild fish from a farm fish any day.
Well, it sounds like I'm going to have to try, doesn't it?
Yeah. You didn't see that coming, did you?
No.
I want trout on the menu at the River Cottage Fair.
Look, there, again. That was a real gentle rise from a big fish. Yeah, bang, there.
Oh, yes. Wow. Obviously, we can't feed 500 with wild fish, but I want to catch just one to see how the best organic farm trout measures up to it. With that in mind, and the river teeming with trout, I set off to give Tim a lesson in the fine art of fly fishing. Straight in the old bank. I seem to be suffering from a slight rod malfunction, but surely moving upstream will improve my luck. Right, I'm out of the tree, and now I'm getting into that fish. That's enough nonsense. I'm so on that fish now, Tim.
Oh, man.
Right, in this fading light, I think a little change of tactics is called for. I'm going to put a much smaller fly on. Time to muster half a lifetime of fishing know-how for one last hopeful cast. I've had enough. Nothing
You don't
doing.
look like a man who's caught a fish.
No, neither do you.
No. I've had fish rise right next to my fly. I've missed a bite.
We've seen a lot of fish. Technically, we've both blanked. I think we should come back tomorrow morning and catch a fish.
First thing tomorrow it is then.
Let's do it. Day 2 of our quest for trout, and we've risen early with a renewed respect for our fiendish finned quarry. I can't help thinking that last night we were slightly punished for our cockiness. We'd underestimated them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They're very clever, these wild otter trout. It's possible the fish here are just slightly cleverer than we are.
I think that might be the fish everywhere.
This morning, I think humility and respect for the fish. I'm not expecting to catch anything.
It'd be lovely just to be by the river, Hugh. That's not true, is it?
No, let's go fishing. Fish or no fish, I really can't think of a lovelier place to be at 6 in the morning at the beginning of summer. Our attempt to outwit the wily trout is resumed. Tim's gone downstream to try one of his favourite pools. There seems to be very little happening on the surface of the water. Hardly seen a fish rise. So I'm changing to a wet fly that fishes underneath the surface. It's supposed to look like a little nymph or a larvae, called a pheasant tail nymph. But it's a great favourite of mine, because when I first learnt to fish, I used to say to myself, pheasant tail never fails. And it often caught me a fish. Ooh. Fish, 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 fish. Pheasant tail never fails. Whoa, it's a lively little critter. Ooh. And that is a beautiful wild brown trout. Let me give him a little knock on the head. Tim! Hee.
Oh, brilliant.
It's a lovely little wildie.
It's a wild otter brownie.
It also gives us an opportunity to test a rather rash claim you were making on the riverbank yesterday evening.
Does it now?
Yeah, that you could taste one of these out of any other farmed fish.
Yeah, definitely.
What a beauty. For this little tasting, no herbs, no garlic. I want these trout to taste of themselves. So just a little bit of oil and butter, salt and pepper, nothing more. The quality of farm trout varies enormously. When choosing, look for fully formed tails and sharp fins like the ones on this organically farmed fish. They indicate the fish has had plenty of room to swim around in, and an organic label means they've been fed from a sustainable source. And here are the two fish. You're allowed a quick peek.
Yeah.
Time for the taste-off. Tim seems pretty confident he can pick the wild one, but let's see if either he or Gil are caught out.
Okay, it's nice.
I like the second one best.
OK, I'm saying nothing. Which of the two did you like?
It's a very subtle difference, but I think I preferred the first one. Had the edge. Slightly moister.
Oh, no. I'm really in trouble here, aren't I?
Tim, you chose the second one, you chose the first, but I'd switched them around, and in fact, you both preferred the same fish.
Oh.
And you both chose the wild fish.
Yes. Well done, my son.
Nice.
Well, I'm pleased that I haven't lost too much face over it, but I have to say I was very sceptical about a farm fish coming anywhere near a wild fish, and actually that was pretty close in taste, so bloody good farm fish, I say.
I think it would be really great to do fish for the strawberry fair. So you think that organic fish is up to scratch?
Absolutely.
Really nice.
Brilliant.
Very tasty.
OK, well, thank you very much for your professional palates.
Pleasure.
Job done. Well done.
Is it?
Is it?
Is it, though?
What about you? Can
I
you
think-
tell the difference?
Can you?
Come on, then.
Come and sit down.
There's no backing down, but I'm going to be pretty embarrassed if I can't recognise the fish I've actually caught and cooked myself. You sure you two haven't just given me the same fish twice?
It's hard, isn't it?
Both very nice fish. I like the second one the best.
So did we.
So the true taste of a wild trout edges it for flavour. But the very best organically farmed fish comes close and is much more sustainable.
Very good. Good experiment.
Lovely. Back in April, the spring sunshine was warming the polytunnel and nurturing the tender seedlings of one of the most productive veg plants I know. It's amazing to think that each of these tiny little plants will, before the end of the summer, produce kilos, if not tens of kilos of courgettes. Once summer's warm nights are with us, courgette plants start to shoot up. But under a scorching sun, they will get thirsty. But you have to be careful how you water, because if you get too much water on the leaves, the plant will get scorched. So I'm going straight for the base of the plant. And I reckon that thanks to this fantastic June sunshine, these guys will be offering up their generous bounty earlier than I've ever seen it before. Just as I hoped, by mid-June the first little courgettes are crying out to be picked. I can get so overexcited that I have to impose a little discipline on myself. So I've invented a rule of thumb, or rather a rule of finger. As long as the courgette's as big as my biggest finger, I'm allowed to pick it. They may only be small, but they won't be short of flavour. And for once the polytunnel is barely ahead of the garden. But there are a few finger-sized courgettes to add to my first harvest. Little bit tight, but I'm just too hungry to resist. Well, I wouldn't exactly call that rich pickings, but I reckon it's just enough to make a lovely little dish to mark the beginning of the new courgette season. I'm going to fry these tasty little chaps with some chopped garlic and then dish them up with some creamy yoghurt seasoned with a hint of mint. And to make this beautifully fresh and summery, the rest of my chopped mint goes straight on the courgettes, along with a little squeeze of lemon. That's it. It's the perfect way to make finger-long courgettes into a finger-licking snack. Well, I hope I'm going to be eating a lot of courgettes in the coming weeks. And if they're all as delicious as that, it might just be my veg of the summer. And now you can grow your own courgettes even if you don't have your own land. The Landshare website, which we set up last year, brings together people with a patch of land or garden to spare with those who want to grow their own food but have nowhere to do it. And with the growing season now bearing fruit, it's got off to a flying start.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Last month, I went to Lancashire to visit the first Landshare match.
And the soil looks good.
15 families benefiting from 2 acres donated by farmers John and Val.
This really is a thank you to you for letting us use the land.
Hey. John and Val. Hooray.
There obviously is the need, and I think it's an excellent idea.
I think you're blazing a trail. I really do. I think it's brilliant. Brilliant. Well done.
Thank you very much.
This looks beautiful. Since then, Landshare matches have blossomed the length and breadth of the country in back gardens, spare farm acres and urban wasteland.
The whole Landshare idea just appealed to us anyway, but to actually be able to participate in it is fantastic.
In Middlesbrough, growers Ruth and Billy got together with Nigel, who couldn't cope with his own overgrowing back garden.
It makes you feel good inside that you're helping somebody else achieve what they want to achieve.
Near Inverness, Tom's been welcomed onto land owned by Wendy and her husband Tim.
We weren't able to cope with it ourselves, so we wanted somebody to carry on the work that we've done for the last 30 years. This is a great idea.
And in Scarborough, the Taylor family have built up a partnership with 2 other families.
We've developed friendships now with our growers, and we have really great community events. I just wish I had more land to turn over to more people.
In one Dorset village, the Fox and Hounds pub has turned over its garden to green-fingered regulars who can now combine a pint with a hoedown.
That's it.
It's not just families and farms that are signing up to Landshare. Big business and the utilities are also offering up land, and British Waterways is one of them. And the National Trust have pledged to provide 1,000 growing plots. But there's no doubt that the number of people looking for good growing ground is outstripping the supply of new plots. There are now at least 2 would-be growers for every available plot of land. So the upshot is, we need more land. If you've got any to spare, we'd love to hear from you. At the strawberry fair, I know there'll be high expectations of the finest strawberry jam, and I have to say it's worrying me. Time for a consultation with Professor of Preserves, Pam Corbin. Pam strawberry jam, 09 vintage, beautiful texture. My problem is a rare one. Strawberry jam just isn't quite my cup of tea. I've got a thing about strawberry jam. It's just never quite as good as raspberry jam.
Well, I know, Hugh, you're a very difficult man to please, aren't you?
Is there a twist, a little extra something, perhaps a little more acidity from somewhere that could take it to those heights?
Can I see if I can change your life today, then, Hugh?
Yeah, please. If you could just change my life with strawberries today, Pam, that would be great.
OK, the best strawberry jam in the world we're looking for.
If possible, Pam, just that's all. She's not called Pam the Jam for nothing. And straight away, she's on the case. She's got us chasing down an ingredient a little way along the lane.
It's a gooseberry bush.
Yes.
In the hedge.
Yes. And look at the little darlings on it, aren't they beautiful? I think that something like this is going to give you your lovely acidity.
The best jam ever.
I hope so.
After picking 100 or so feral gooseberries, Pam brings me back to her cosy flower beds.
And this is it, Hugh. Just
Now,
sort of
I don't know what that is, Pam. You've got me there.
a sweet-scented geranium.
It's a geranium.
Now you smell that. And
that's incredibly intense. That is a really exciting scent.
You happy?
Well, I'll be happy if it works in a jam. I mean, whatever that does, it's going to be dramatic. It's either going to make it taste like Chanel No. 5, or it's going to be really something quite sensational. We're going to make 2 strawberry jams, one with a gooseberry twist, the other a hint of geranium. But I'm still just a tiny bit worried that Pam's preserves might jangle my nerves. My first task is to bash the hulled strawberries to release their fruity juices. Tell me how bashed you like these.
That's plenty, just so that the outer skin's broken.
To the fragrant geranium jam, we're also adding a little lemon juice for sharpness. Meanwhile, we're heating the gooseberries in a little water to soften the skins.
Now, Hugh, we really just need to get some heat into these strawberries before I put the sugar in.
Right. For a kilo of fruit, add 900 grams of sugar and keep stirring until it's dissolved.
It's got some added pectin.
It's jam sugar.
Yes.
The added pectin will help the jam to set. Go for the full rolling boil and boil hard for 10 minutes.
All those bubbles are going down. Butter helps reduce the amount of air bubbles. You know, people look at that and think it's scummy. It's not scummy. It's
a very negative word for delicious strawberry foam.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you don't want it on the top of your jam jar.
No. You're making a mess over there, Hugh.
Little mistake there, Pam. I'm really sorry. I was feeling cocky and I thought I could pour straight in.
That's what men do, isn't it? They think that they can do all these things, Hugh.
Oh, I know. Aren't we rubbish?
Shall I pour the next lot?
Go on then. Show me how a woman would do it.
There we are. There's some of those little goose-cocks. Oops. Oh, dear.
And that, of course, is how a woman does it, without any sense of the capacity of the vessels into which she's pouring.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, Hugh.
What's going on there, Pam? So, 2 new strawberry jams, each with a cunning twist. Will it be enough to shift a man who's stuck in his ways? I'm going to try the gooseberry first. And look, there is a little gooseberry. Look at that.
What do you think?
I think it's lovely. Those few gooseberries have made a big difference. They've given it some tang and a kind of depth. The straw and goosegog concoction is a delight. But what of those heady, scented geranium leaves? Wow. The geranium is a whole other thing. It's made it taste winey, like an aromatic, floral white wine.
Really, really lovely, isn't it?
There's no doubt that, to me, these are both more delicious than the straight strawberry jam. And what I'd really like to do is take both of these onto the strawberry fair, because I think with a decent scone and a lovely bit of clotted cream, they'd make the ultimate cream tea. Thank you, Pam. Really delicious. Now, I like to pot, which is to say, putting things in little pots with some nice spiced butter that not only makes them taste delicious, but preserves them. You can pot all kinds of fish and all kinds of meat, but it's the cunningly flavoured butter that makes each pot special. And while half a pat of butter is gently melting, I'm grating garlic, chopping thyme, and zesting a lemon. The choice of spices and aromatics is up to you, but if you like the idea of potted fish that's a bit peppy, this is an easy recipe. But first we have to clarify the butter. And to clarify just what that means, I'm removing the milky solids, so what's left is the pure butterfat, perfect for preserving. Once you've clarified the butter, you can also heat it to a higher temperature without any risk of it burning. That's what I'm doing now, before my spices go in. The lemon zest and garlic get a minute of light sizzling and then come off the heat. And the rest of the spices go in: thyme, chili powder, and a pinch of mace. Even if you use salted butter for this recipe, a lot of the salt comes out with the milk solids, so I'm going to add a little bit back in. And finally, a twist of black pepper. Give it all a stir. We've got a lovely spiced butter here, and it's time to pot. And what I'm going to pot is some of this lovely organic trout. It's already been cooked and picked off the bone. First, I'm dressing the plain poached fish with the well-flavoured butter. The thing that always surprises me, and I must say slightly thrills me, is just how much stuff you can get into a pot when you're potting. All the fish in this bowl will go in. Now that is all the flesh, and hopefully none of the bones, from a 1 pound trout. I'm trickling over the rest of the spiced butter and helping it all around the jar. It needs to cover the fish completely, and it's topped with a pungent bay leaf. Now this will go in the fridge for the butter to set and also for those lovely flavours to mingle with the fish. It'll be delicious tomorrow, and if I leave it unopened in the pot, equally delicious in 2 weeks' time. And a little jar like this of leftover spiced butter is a very handy thing to have around the kitchen. Fantastic for taking on picnics, and particularly brilliant if you're heading for the beach. A good old-fashioned British seaside holiday is hard to beat. And even right in front of a busy promenade, there may lurk a free meal. Generally speaking, you can measure a man's appetite by the size of his net. And I'm feeling greedy for one of the great seaside treats. This is quite a specialised form of hunting, and you've definitely got to have the right weapon. But you also need to have the right kind of clothing. And in fact, there's a traditional attire for this kind of pursuit that goes back decades. And that's a tradition I feel I'd like to honour. I find that a sense of history equips one to do the job properly. And now I feel thoroughly prepared to enter the surf and hunt down my prey. My prey is the beloved brown shrimp, and if they're there, you don't have to venture far to find them. Well, hey! Within minutes of entering the water, I'm in luck. This is astonishing. On my first scoop, I've hit the jackpot. Look at these guys. Big, fat, tasty brown shrimps. These are really good specimens. A 20-yard run, I think I've got 10 of them. Not quite enough for tea yet, so I'm wetting my bag, depositing my catch, and setting off to trawl for some more. You really want a classic shrimping net for this, with a wooden bar at the front that you push through the sand.
Another 4 or so.
The shrimps spring from their lairs and get scooped in the net behind.
Unbelievable! I think this is my record scoop. I think I've got 15.
I'm raking them in, but it's not entirely indiscriminate, as my conservation-grade net lets the little uns escape. Well, I've done 10 good trawls, and I haven't drawn a blank once. I don't want to be greedy. I think I've already got enough for a good feed. Shrimping certainly makes me hungry for shrimps, and I'm going to sort out my tea right here on the beach. Dropping these little shrimps straight into a pan of rapidly boiling water is the humane way to kill them. It's instant. 2 minutes back on the boil and the shrimps are ready. Any more and they'll shrink and shrivel. And that's it, they're done. Look at that. These are the most fantastic specimens. Beautiful fat shrimps. Just going to give them a little peel. Oh, so sweet. But I think it might be even more delicious if it's tossed in a little bit of my spiced butter. And while that slowly melts in the pan, I'm going to peel the rest of my catch, partially at least. The thing about these shrimps is that the shells are actually quite tender. So if you just take the head and the tail off, you can leave the rest of the shell on. This gives a little bit of crunch. Topped and tailed, they're ready for the pan. These, with half the shell still on, swimming in the melted spice butter, are perfect for eating as a beachside snack. They may only be little shrimps, but I think these are the most delicious crustaceans there are. And as for this gorgeous spiced butter, well, I honestly think it's how a shrimp would want to go. Just a few weeks ago, our master baker Dan set out to inspire local mum Sarah Bilson to bake her own bread.
It's delicious. Really nice.
Sarah's no longer a slave to sliced white, and with Dan's help, she's made baking a big part of her life.
What are you going to make? Pizza. Good one.
But there's more to being a baker than making bread, and now Sarah's on a final mission to earn her baker's stripes.
We're going to make some scones. Now, the real test is going to be whether your scones rise as well as my scones.
Okay.
And I think that if they do, you're a fully fledged baker.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to do is mix together all of the dry ingredients.
For that, Dan brings together 300 grams of flour, 2 heaped teaspoons of baking powder and a generous pinch of salt. Sieving removes lumps and gets a little air into the mix. Next, he adds 75 grams of cold unsalted butter.
The idea is to just rub it into smaller and smaller pieces until it's completely blended in. Now, we're making sweet scones today, so I'm going to add 100 grams of caster sugar.
In a separate bowl, add the wet ingredients, 120 ml of double cream beaten with 1 egg and a cap of vanilla essence.
We're going to eat these with some strawberry jam, and that vanilla is just going to be a lovely background flavour.
Thoroughly whisk together and add to the flour mix.
Now this is the real secret of scones. Where with bread I've been teaching you to work and stretch the gluten to make it stronger, this is exactly the opposite. We want to work this as little as possible. All I want to do is blend everything smoothly together. That's enough.
With a bit of extra flour, roll out the dough to a couple of centimetres and cut out your scones.
Nice and gently, I don't want to squash it.
Bakers are often a little bit obsessive about measuring their ingredients, but it looks like Dan's gone a bit mad.
I'm allowing you a maximum of 2.5 centimetres on your scones, OK? Now, the last thing we need to do, brush the tops with a little milk. That will just give them a nice glossy glaze.
15 minutes in a hot oven.
Here we go.
And then it's time to see just how much rise Dan's got from his scones.
4 centimetres at the highest point. You agree? You think no?
Wait, your scones?
Well, let's call it 3.5.
Okay, fine. 3.5.
3.5's your challenge.
Okay.
No more than 2.5 centimetres high before they go in the oven.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. I think this is going to be, hopefully, easier than the bread. Try not to make as much mess as Dan did. I feel much more able now than I did at the beginning, because I am, I think. This is the crucial part, not to fiddle with it too much. It doesn't seem to be coming together as well as Dan's did. I don't know. No more than 2 2.5.
Now, I could be mistaken, but it looks to me as if one of Sarah's scones is just bending the ruler.
2.5 exactly. Looks fine to me.
Sarah's measuring skills may be suspect, but it's her baking ability that matters. So have her scones hit the oven roof or stayed on the floor?
Wow.
Wow, they have really risen, haven't they?
They've really risen.
They really have. Great. That's just the magic of the oven.
And perhaps the magic of those deft baking fingers.
Then I think it's fair to say you've beaten me. Congratulations, you've passed your test.
And for the winner and the loser, the spoils.
I'm really proud of that.
You should be there, perfect.
Really good.
But the challenge doesn't end here.
I've got to make 500 scones for our strawberry fair we've got coming up. I'm wondering if you would join my baking team for the day.
Of course.
You would?
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Hope they come out as good as these.
I insist they come out as good as these.
Oh.
Everybody's getting so excited about the strawberry fair that we've all gone a bit strawberry doolally. I've got Gil and Tim experimenting with various strawberry savouries, and I don't want to miss out on the fun either. Strawberry gherkin. Not very nice at all. We want to shake up our guests' taste buds at the fair with a selection of savoury strawberry taste testers. After all, why restrict such a versatile berry to the sweet course?
First, we'll try a bit of used cheese. Yeah, it's surprisingly nice, actually. Very, very good. Quite nutty. But I'm not sure it's quite what we're looking for. Blue cheese and strawberry. Not wholly pleasant. Lunacy. No, definitely not. Blue cheese is out.
So Tim's struggling to find harmonious bedfellows. How's Gil doing?
Strawberries and cream work, but strawberries and salad cream is absolutely disgusting.
Now my turn to play the nutty professor, partnering a juicy half strawberry with a blob of peanut butter. Yes, and the reason that works so well, that whole dry mouth thing that you get when you eat peanut butter on its own, the strawberry just explodes and quenches your thirst. It's really good. So how about strawberry and mushroom? Surprisingly good. Bit of a breakfast special. Tim's getting radical too.
So I'm going to try something a little bit crazy. I'm going to try and hot smoke some strawberries. I'm going to drop a few oak chippings in there, and I'm going to cover it with a bit of trusty tinfoil.
And 5 minutes later, you've got a lightly smoked strawberry.
Dare I say it, that could be the strawberry of the year.
Next, Tim's got a twist on the classic fruit and meat combo of melon and Parma ham.
Lomo is a cured pork loin. It's marinated and salted with paprika. Definitely savoury, definitely tastes of strawberry. But I think it just needs a bit of our friend mint to balance it a little bit. So just put the mint on like that. Nice piece of strawberry. Fold it over. Oh. That is very nice.
Meanwhile, Gil's under the influence of another juicy red fruit.
Let's face it, these guys are pretty similar. I'm going to try strawberry ketchup.
To sliced strawberries and onions, he's adding a bouquet garni of bay, whole black pepper and secret spices. Some crushed garlic, brown sugar and a good slosh of cider vinegar. After 20 minutes simmering, pass the pulpy sauce through a sieve and prepare for a taste of the unknown.
Really got potential. Sauté potatoes. It's very much like a good barbecue sauce, but a sweet barbecue sauce. I mean, you could probably use this in replacement of the classic tomato ketchup.
The verdict on our strawberry savouries will go to our guests at the fair. At the start of the summer, we took on the spikes of the vicious gorse. We survived and laid down some lovely sparkling gorse flower wine.
That really is good.
I reckon the remaining bottles of this vintage could be used to make a summer cocktail for the fair, providing it's retained its party fizz.
Look at the sparkle on that. That's quite impressive, isn't it?
It's rather a splendid champagne almost. Cheers.
Very dry.
It is dry. It's very sharp too. I think the sweetness will go really well with it.
The first thing maybe we could try is I've got some macerated strawberries here. All they've had on them is plenty of sugar and a little bit of lemon. We could do a sort of Kir Royale.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
You can use any sparkling wine for these cocktails, and it certainly doesn't need to be the pricey stuff.
That's really good. Superb sweetness with the acidity, just perfect.
I have to say, as a party drink, that's very quaffable, isn't it?
A good result for the syrup, but I want to use whole strawberries to get all the fleshy goodness into the fizz.
If the last one was sort of gorse Kir Royale, then this is a sort of gorse strawberry Bellini, because it's actually got the fruit pulp in it.
Just a lovely colour, isn't it?
Is it good?
Yeah, I'll let you have some in a minute.
You're starting to look a bit like a strawberry. I like that even more. And I love the fact that it's using the whole strawberry. I think before we commit to our recipe for the strawberry fair, we should try one more thing. And that's a sort of strawberry daiquiri. So if you'd like to prepare the glass, handful of fresh strawberries, handful of ice, a bit more of the old gorse flour. And obviously it needs a bit of a kick, so cider apple brandy.
I think that'll do very nicely, actually.
I think I accidentally put enough in.
An amazing drink, isn't it?
I mean, that's the thing about daiquiris. You've always got to
concentrate.
Drink them quickly. You've got to drink them quickly. Oh, ow. It's like picking gorse all over again.
It's very pretty. Well, I thought you were going to kiss me for a minute. Get off.
It's the day of our strawberry fair, and it's all hands on deck. Sarah's back earning her crust as the baker's apprentice, helping Dan make scones. I'm in the kitchen baking herb-seasoned organic trout fillets in a hot oven for 10 minutes, while Gil puts together a sumptuous summery potato salad with young onions, broad beans, chives and mint, and a mustardy dressing. Now, let's get this party started, with strawberry bellinis just dripping with summer sunshine.
Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Strawberry Day. What do you think of that?
They're certainly slipping down a treat, but can the same be said for Gil and Tim's strawberry savoury surprises?
We've got some Lomo, strawberry and mint canapes here. They're absolutely gorgeous.
That's the business.
That's the business, isn't it? Bit different, nice and salty.
Come and have a try of the strawberry ketchup.
Strawberry ketchup?
Absolute winner.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Is that peanut butter? Never think of that, do we? You want to make some strawberry ketchup? Yeah. Really, really good. Excellent. Thank you.
In our stripy strawberry tent, there's a berry bonanza, as we're asking people to pick their favourite variety.
Without a doubt, it's the Florence. It's scrumptious. Which ones did you like, boys?
I like that one.
2.
And I think I would come down in favour of this one.
Which is the masses' favourite.
So, ladies and gentlemen, officially, the tastiest variety of strawberry here at the Strawberry Fair is the Florence.
In the glutton tent, they're scarfing Sarah's scones. But will her best baking impress her harshest critic, her dad?
What do you think?
Very nice. I've been trying to teach Sarah to cook for 30 years and you managed it in 10 minutes.
It's been more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's very nice.
Hey there, how's it going?
Hi, Hugh.
What do you think of Sarah's scones?
Oh, I'm absolutely amazed.
Do you know how you spot one of Sarah's as opposed to one of Dan's?
It's slightly higher, I
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. It is the best jam, isn't it?
It's delicious, yeah.
That's the strawberry and gooseberry jam I think you've got.
Beautiful jam, lovely cream, and the best scone I've ever had.
Thank you.
Well done. Absolutely fantastic. And could we hear it for our smallest and most delicious looking strawberry? All right. That's everyone cheering for you. What a fantastic day. Strawberry jam packed with good things. I hope you have a wonderful summer, full of seasonal delights, including a few of these. See you in the autumn.
Go!
Let's go. We won? Yeah, we got it. The hungry chefs. It's too good to rush this jam. I'm just going to savour it.